What's going on, YouTube? Today's gonna be one of those days where I answer a question and I feel like the answer is so unsatisfying I have to do a lot to really hit upon some key points. So today I'm answering the question of leveling up companions. What is the most effective way to do it? How do you do it? And what is the way to go about it? The answer is actually so straightforward. It's a bit disappointing. Combat experience. Every time you kill something, your companion gets a percentage of it. So then what's the best way to level them up? Well, it's to kill things. Well, what's the best way to kill things? Well, it's to do the same way that you do 90% of the level up methods. But I'm going to highlight that as well as what ways you can also get additional experience for your companions. I hope this video is still helpful and you do learn something and I can help motivate your brain juices of flowing, but it will be a bit of a rehash of some old information. You can see clearly I am in a arena where I did my actual original XP video. We'll talk obviously about the way to farm XP here later, but it will be a bit of the same information if you watch my top 5 XP locations video, but I will obviously hit upon some new points as well because companions are slightly different, and I hope that this video is helpful. And if it is, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like in the comments below, or leave a like in the comments. Then how do you leave a like in the just leave a like on the video itself, and let's get into it. So I want to actually hit on something that I feel like I've kind of downplayed when I stream until I saw the stats and crunch the numbers. So if you were to have epic training gear, you would be getting an additional 78% boost to XP, which means that you're almost getting an entire double XP event worth of XP just by utilizing training gear, which to me is crazy because I never thought of the math that way. I'm a very analytical person, and it actually kind of makes me sad that I didn't highlight this to this level when I made my initial video. And if you wear the Heartland Conqueror's gear, you get an additional 9% XP, which means you can have a total of 87% XP just for wearing gear. It's almost double XP for you just anytime you're wearing these armor sets. So I would suggest having a low level version at level 10, and then also having a version for you to use at level 160. Another piece that I wanted to touch upon is consumables. So there are multiple versions of consumables. There are potions and scrolls. These are not usable together. What does that mean? It means that if you have a 50% scroll and a 50% potion, you cannot stack those together. All you would be doing is overriding the buff, similar to how if you're eating one buff food, you eat another buff food, you've just overwritten that previous one. So what does that mean? It means that there is a scroll version and a drink potion of a 50, 100%, and 150% scroll. What I would tell you, though, is that you will get tons of XP scrolls, and do not feel bad about utilizing them constantly. Use them whenever you feel like you're doing something that's going to give you a lot of XP, whether it's doing your battlegrounds, whether it's doing your daily dungeons. If you're doing content that's going to be giving you a lot of XP, pop an XP scroll, because it will also go into your companions experience as well, which just overall levels you up a little bit better. And before I bore you with rehashing my favorite XP areas, I would just like to point out too that your companions do have guild lines. Those can only be leveled up by doing the dailies associated with that. You can see that we're in the Undaunted area right now. If I wanted to level up my companions Undaunted level, I would have to do the Undaunted daily quest from Bulgrim. There's a Fighter's Guild and a Mage's Guild daily. You can find them inside of your city capital. So if you are in Wayrest, you can pick it up there. Mournhold, Eldenroot, etc. You will find a daily quest for your associated guild line that you're leveling up. It's important to note too, you can also buy these with event tickets, but only silly gooses waste their event tickets on that, because a lot of people think that you have to do tons of daily quests to level up from like 8 to 9 to 9 to 10. That's not true. You only have to do one quest to each level, which is very, very quick. Please do not ever waste your event tickets ever on doing those. Just do a daily quest every day, and then in 9 days it'll be fully maxed out for your companions. So the number one way that you're able to farm experience per hour, in theory maximizing it 100% out, is going to be in Black Rose Prison. It is an arena. It's going to require you to have the Murkmire DLC, but if you go in here and you repeat the second round, that's the tactic. Your companion will help you. Building them for a tank will make this significantly easier for you, but tank them up, beef them up, and then you're able to basically run through and do the entirety of the second round, and then you're going to die on the second round because for whatever reason the second round is just very juicy for that experience. So if you keep refarming this over and over again, you're going to be able to maximize the amount of experience that you will gain, and you'll be able to level up your companion, in theory, the fastest. Although I would warn you that, as you can see, my character is taking numerous amounts of damage. It can be very tricky, but what I would say is if you're getting frustrated, just remind yourself that you're getting copious amounts of experience in here, and that the suffering is in fact worth it. And don't feel afraid to take the sigils too. The sigils can be very helpful overall for you getting lots of experience. Next we have Skyreach Catacombs, which is another great place to farm experience. As you can tell, if you've ever seen people purchasing Skyreach runs, it's a very populated area. There's lots of enemies and AI in here that you're able to group up and massively kill. I will tell you that it's easier to be built for these types of places, having a little bit of extra oomph, maybe like the Gaze of Sithis on there, but also having some really good DPS sets on there too, like Plague Break, make your enemies blow up. Can also make this a little bit easier on you without having to go through the stress of trying to keep yourself alive constantly and dealing enough DPS. Unfortunately, your companion will try to pull the enemies away, but that's okay. We still love Isabel and think that she's the greatest companion. But overall, Skyreach Catacombs inside of Craglorn is a great place to go. And this is where we kind of wrap up the areas, and that is inside the Alakir Desert doing Dolems. Now, you may have noticed during this XP video, we've hit upon areas that have large groups of enemies. And there's tons of areas like this. There's areas in every zone where you can go, like the Bear Farm, the Necropolis in Alakir Desert, Spell Scar, over near the little silly gooses in Glenumbra with all the Spriggans. There's tons of places you can go. Why are we focusing on those areas that have lots of mobs, but we're not talking about things like daily dungeon completes? And you may have noticed that your companions only get gear from combat kills. So we were talking about experience gain and the percentages. Unfortunately, that is a percentage based only upon combat kills. And I think that's an important distinction that I'm making here for you guys, because I want you to know that, unfortunately, you're probably going to have to grind out a bunch of mobs. But what I would say, too, is that there's also no real rush to level up a companion. So while, yes, you could spend an entire day in Skyreach or Spellscar or, killing mobs in the open world, that's not what you have to do. Your companions will level up with you. You'll get a lot of experience with them just doing things in the overworld because you're constantly killing things. Don't feel like you have to kill a bunch of world bosses or you have to go out and kill a bunch of mobs. That is technically the most effective way to level them up. But again, what's the difference between a level 17 and a level 20 companion? Yes, there might be some bragging rights, but it's not like there's a necessary, best in slot companion that you're going to have to whip out on a trial or anything. The end game, thankfully, is gated from companions to where you don't have to worry about paying millions of gold to get them purple gear and spending hours to level them up. So that would be my kind of final reminder for you. But as a second final reminder, please leave a comments below. We're doing 3 giveaway drawings for the month of February. I am pulling a random comment through random comment number generator. A second comment will be the funniest comment that I thought throughout the month made me laugh the most. And a third comment, well, it's actually not a comment at all. It's from a subscriber. I will pull a random subscriber from my total subscribers list. So if you would like to be entered, all you have to do is one of those 3 things. Be subscribed, leave a comment, or try to make me laugh, or do all 3. Hey, whatever you guys want to do, I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you guys, and I thank you guys for this video suggestion. This obviously was a very good video suggestion, and I am very appreciative for it. Hope this video was helpful, because unfortunately a lot of it was just rehashed experience gain routes. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.